What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Titans action. This is the PK Clan tournament, spawning in the bottom side of the map in the blue color. Playing as Zeus is Swedish Chef. His opponent today in the red color, also playing as Zeus, is Fen. I picked this recorded game out of the lot of the currently played PK Clan tournament group stage games because this one looks like the most exciting. Zeus versus Zeus, so it's going to be really interesting to see how both of these guys play it. I've seen both players play this matchup, so it's going to be, and they're both really good. So it's all about top tier players playing against each other and producing top tier um, recorded games. So we've got Swedish Chef here who has been playing a lot recently and has been getting very, very good. Definitely one of the top contenders for the like the whole thing. He's kind of how would you say, like as a black sheep? I'm not sure. He's like the guy you're not going to expect to win because he's not Army Corps and he's not Magyar and he's not Mister. But he's definitely got a chance to take this. He's going to have some surprises up his sleeve that I'm sure that these guys aren't going to be ready for. So I'm really interested to see how far he gets in this tournament. TSM Fen, on the other hand, a very highly regarded player in his own right. He plays Zeus extremely well. He's learnt off TSM Player, one of the best Zeus players. He pioneered some of the currently used strategies for Zeus. Well, not necessarily like strategically, more like macro and what you do and when you build stuff and when you need to have things to be aggressive and whatnot. He did that. So he didn't make the strategies per se. He molded the strategies to make them really effective. The map is Watering Hole, so we're gonna be able to see that the bases are gonna get walled up pretty tightly. At least they should do. And as a result, we're probably not gonna see a lot of action because both players probably gonna go Hermes, as we see Swedish Chef grabbing that rhinoceros right there with his villagers. As I was saying, both players are not going to be able to do too much aggression with their centaur because of the wall points. If we have to say anything, we have to say that TSM Fen's base is a little bit more open than Swedish Chef's, but TSM Fen can actually wall off here, can wall off here, and can wall off here. So the actual wall points aren't that long. And then over here as well, as opposed to Swedish Chef, who only has to wall off here and here. However, he might want to hunt from these hippos, so he might have to wall off that spot as well. But that being said, what's probably going to happen in this game is we see a temple going up for Fen and a temple going up for Swedish Chef, using that temple in a really good position there to basically just positioning so he doesn't have to wall off quite as much. But we're probably not going to see anything too extreme happen in the early game. So it's probably going to be a bit of a boom. And both players going to grab their second town centers at some point pretty early. I could be just completely wrong, though. We have to understand that I'm speaking completely out of like what I see on the map and whatnot. As we see the first walls start going up there for TSM Fen. But we're probably going to see a pretty long game here, I hope. And wall's probably going to go up over here as well. See, using this house, this is what makes Swedish Chef really good. He's really thinking about his building placement. He places the stuff so that he doesn't have to do as much other stuff. Like, you're using your buildings as a wall is really, really clever. As we see, the first wall going to probably go up now. He's moved his villager into position. We see Hermes getting researched there by Swedish Chef, and Fen also going through Hermes. Fen a little bit behind Swedish Chef, though, unfortunately. And we can see Swedish Chef grabbing some of these gazelle on the top. Well, sorry, just like the right-hand corner of the map. And Fen moving some villagers over onto wood. He's going to grab some of those centaurs out early. He's got fire, 5 villagers on food, it looks like. No, that's Swedish Chef. So Fen's got 6 villagers on food, 9 villagers on wood, and 2 villagers on gold, whereas Swedish Chef's got 5 on food, 9 on wood, and 2 on gold. So Swedish Chef 1 villager behind. However, he's going to be advancing a little bit quicker than Fen, so he's going to get some early stuff out. I'm pretty interested to see how many centaurs actually get built, and if this is actually an open spot that someone can run through. I would probably wall that off, because even if you let like 2 centaur in and they pick off like 4 villagers, then that's gonna hurt you. You don't want that to happen. You see Odysseus getting bought straight away for Swedish Chef because he wants to pick off any of those early centaurs, and you can see if Fen doing the same thing, getting his Jason and his Odysseus first. I think Odysseus first is probably the best bet because he can really deal with the centaurs very quickly and easily, as opposed to Jason, who has to sort of walk around and chase the centaur. It's not as easy. Anyway, we see the TSM Fen has scouted out this food line here, and if the scout can cross this passage here, it's going to be pretty big, and it looks like he can. So unfortunately for Swedish Chef, he's going to get a centaur into his food line, but we do see the Swedish Chef right on that. Is he going to run right past this? It looks like, oh no, he just saw it. He just saw it. Here we go. Odysseus going to be able to pick off that centaur right there. Jason coming around, and we see a bolt happening there on the Odysseus. A couple of villagers getting picked off there for Fen there. Sorry, for Swedish Chef picking off Fen's villagers. A bolt happens on the centaur, so we have basically a villager for a centaur, and we have one villager down for Fen. Swedish Chef has picked off the Odysseus. So in terms of resources lost, it's kind of pretty even. 50 food for Fen going down, 50 food and 200 wood and 2 favor, as opposed to the 200 wood and 12 favor, is it? So it's like 10 favor difference for 50 food. Just kind of even. You can see the Jason chasing, both Jasons chasing each other. They will be chasing each other for a very long time as they have the exact same stats. You can see more stuff happening. When are the stables going to start going up there? There's the first stable for Swedish Chef going down there. You need to start getting that economy pumping as soon as you can. And the military, you don't want to be falling behind on production. Interested to see when this second town center goes up. Both players playing very cautiously here. The raid's happening though, so we do see that this Jason getting picked off though. It's not in a good position. That's a lot of HP that it's missing out on there. And that centaur polemark, they're getting picked off a little bit. Only the special attack. These fights are really hard because they're going to shoot like a special ability soon, and then that centaur is going to feel pain. And we can see that it's not quite going to get picked off. He actually needs to run here, or else he will lose that centaur, unfortunately. There we go. He loses one centaur for none there. Just a lot of HP missing though on the two smaller, well, on the two centaurs that were in that fight. But they're still alive, so they can still potentially deal some damage, so long as it's not like a head-on fight. We do see the wall was chucked up here, so Fen not going to be able to get through there anymore. Good play by Swedish Chef. Again, this location hasn't been walled off just yet. It's a little bit surprising he hasn't done that. And Fen should probably abuse that, because he could run in around here and then pick off all these villages on this wood line. Well, not all of them, but at least a couple. And we can see that Swedish Chef attempting to pick off the villages of Fen there and being successful with that little raid. Sorry about that, a little tickle of the throat. And the centaur's running away, but we can see that maybe Swedish Chef can pick off one of these here, and we do see that, unfortunately, actually losing a centaur there. Not going to quite be able to pick them all off just yet. As the Odysseus comes into the fray, he's going to turn the fight into favor of Swedish Chefs. Fen needs to get his Odysseus around here somewhere. Start being a little bit more aggressive with that. He's going to be struggling to pick off centaurs without that one there. You can see the Pegasus probably going to get picked off as well. Interesting choice for Fen to get that Pegasus. Or was it a relic? No, it was definitely, he produced that Pegasus. It's not exact. I mean, if you're raiding, obviously it's a good idea. As we see, TSM Fen has grabbed his second town center, as Swedish Chef has not. Swedish Chef actually struggling a little bit here in terms of economy. And Fen picking off a couple of villages now. Nice play there, picking off two. So we're gonna see the centaurs getting picked off a little bit though, as they run away. So town center up for Fen. But what does that mean? Fen's at 42 population to Swedish Chef's 50 population, so it looks like Fen is actually in a really good spot here. The town center has been scattered out going up for Swedish Chef by Fen here. We can see the line of sight. It's definitely seen. Oh, actually, it's really. That's surprising. Why would you position that there? Hmm. Interesting, Fan. It's not like he could do too much about it. And here's the really smart thing that Swedish Chef's doing. He's gone, okay, my opponent's just grabbed a second town center, so he's not going to be aggressive at the moment. He can't be. Well, he can. It'd be kind of like a waste of buying the second town center, but he'd have to have spent a lot of resources not booming off it. But basically, it means that he's going to be sitting pretty for a long time. So he's going to grab both of these town centers to catch up in economy. If he has both of them up, that means that he can boom with off 3 town centers instead of the 2, and all that other good stuff. These villagers now coming up here to pick off these hippopotamus. With this town center being here, it's going to be difficult to raid this location for Fen, so we'll see exactly what happens there. Again, this Catastrophic Scout could be more active, sitting in the bottom corner of the map. What I like to do at least, like, there's no point in keeping him there, it's 2 population, so I like to send him raiding around a little bit. Nice micro there by Fen, actually, not by both players, actually picking off a lot of the HP of both of these units. Looks like this might be a loss of a centaur there for, no, Swedish Chef actually managing to keep that one alive. Really good micro by him at the moment. And we can see that a lot of these centaur getting picked off, and one more centaur getting picked off for Swedish Chef. Swedish Chef going to have to get out of there though. Both those at very low hit points. Going to have to retreat here back to base. And we can see that gold mine is starting getting picked up here, as well as everything else. What is Swedish Chef currently doing? He's got villagers queued onto wood, onto more wood, and onto gold. So he's actually going to be attempting to get that wood and gold based economy so he can transition into farms, I think. He's currently getting them, and he does have plow. Does he have? Sorry, he has husbandry, not plow. He doesn't yet have the plow upgrade coming up. But Fen, on the other hand, his economy in quite the same shape. It's interesting, like, as soon as I start farming, like, as soon as it is, I buy a plow. Because farms gather so slowly, if you don't buy it, then you're going to be, it's going to just be a bad thing for you. Like, you're just setting your villages up for a loss there. It's like, I think it's 10% for Greek with the plow. I'm not exactly sure if I could see someone buying plow, or if I could click on a villager and see the plow. There's so many resources. You just want to buy it. Oh well. It's a little bit more of a skirmish there. One centaur falling off for both players. It's kind of interesting, like, seeing that happen, because it's keeping the centaur count really, really low. Except Fen's got so many more than Swedish Chef. Swedish Chef's got 50 favor in the bank. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do with that. We see a barracks coming down, military academy going down in an archery range. So we're going to transition into the hoplite toxite thing. And what we really need to see from Swedish Chef at the moment, and he could secure this game right now, is securing this town center. If he gets out an army really quickly now, instead of this boom, you could secure the map, I think, but maybe it's not the best idea. Maybe the boom is probably more important. But there's so many centaur here. They're gonna all pick off these 2 centaur immediately because their special attack has a 10 out of 10 tracking rating. But running them right into that that Jason there, losing a lot of HP. You can see that Fan getting a little bit overzealous here, running into that town center fire. Not being all too concerned though, because there's not a lot of units here. The town center actually looks like it's focusing the Odysseus though, which is not the best considering it only takes like 6 points of damage each fire, and that's a very small amount. It might be more than that depending on stuff, but he has the most HP, so it's not really the best idea. We can see that Fen now grabbing the town center over here. Nice attack there. One thing I have taken from StarCraft, we're gonna have a quick venture into why different RTS games are really good for different RTS games. It's the strategy that they have over there. Well, it might have been when I played it back in the day. When I say back in the day, it was a couple years ago. Was make an attack and expand behind the attack, so that you're gonna be able to force your opponent not to attack you while it's going up. So it's always good, which is what Fen's doing here. He's making an attack and he's building his town center so that we're pushing Swedish Chef onto the back foot. And we can see The skirmish is happening yet again, and both players losing centaur there. The centaur focus is really good by Swedish Chef though. He needs to kind of do some other stuff. These villagers sitting in the middle of this fight here, not doing all too good. Hoplite, Toxite, and Hippocon coming out now for Swedish Chef. He's really nice micro with those centaur, picking off a bunch of things. The Odysseus though trying to focus them down. Needs to actually pick that one off. He's very low HP, and he's losing a lot of hit points on those centaur. Actually going to lose a centaur there for no real reason. But there's a lot of units here for Swedish Chef. Fen actually kind of okay in this fight. The town center has gotten up now, so he might just want to retreat. There's not a lot of point in continuing this fight because he's got this town center. He wants to boom off that, get to that 145 population. Jumping over to Fen's perspective, he's actually at 128 of 145 pop. So doing really, really well at the moment. And continuously picking off all of these dudes. Villagers kind of idle at the moment, needs to send them off to doing something else. Going to build that storehouse. Not going to actually be able to build it because there's a Toxito firing there. But the army of Swedish Chef doing really well at this point in the game. Centaurs again trying to focus fire these the enemy centaurs, but nice micro by Fen retreating them back. You can see because they've got such high movement speed, if you run them away while the centaurs aren't using their special attack, they don't do any damage. Another Odysseus back into the fray here for Fen, going to be able to pick off those centaurs himself. If we jump back over to Swedish Chef's perspective, he's got the centaur continuously producing. He's got Hippocon, Hoplite, and Toxite producing, and we see the military academy going up for Fen as well. It's already up, so he's going to get that same sort of army. It's going to allow him to compete micro-wise with his opponent. Centaur, unfortunately, getting completely destroyed there. You're not going to be able to survive all too much longer as it does fall pretty much for free. Kind of like a hoplite for a Centaur there. Not exactly the best trade by Swedish Chef, but Swedish Chef's economy in really good position at the moment. Same with Fens. So both players can continue this spam while they continue to get their economy going. Swedish Chef looks like he's actually stopped producing villagers. He might be at the max supply of villagers though, and unfortunately for Swedish Chef at the moment, Fen has grabbed medium hoplite, so his hoplite's going to be in a really good spot as well as his Toxite. So Fen's army a little bit stronger than Swedish Chef's at the moment, so he's going to be continuously pushing through here, whereas Swedish Chef going to be falling behind if he keeps choosing to fight. He has no armory upgrades, whereas so he's basically just behind in terms of his army quality. He can continuously build these units, but Fen's sitting at 135 pop to the 100 pop of Swedish Chef. Maybe Swedish Chef should continuously, maybe Swedish Chef should probably chuck up some more military buildings and continue to do some stuff with those. You can see the Toxite kind of picking off the units pretty well though. And Toxite picking off Hippocon, not the best use of them, but got to pick off what's close to you as the marksmen that they are, and we can continuously pick off all that other good stuff. We see Swedish Chef deciding to ceasefire here. Whether that was a good idea or not, he needs to build up more military buildings to produce stuff. He's sitting at 800 food, 500 wood, so he can advance. Just going through Apollo. Jump over to Fen's perspective, and also going through Apollo. So both players doing a really, really well in terms of technology, teching, all that other good stuff. It's just that Fen putting on some real pressure for Swedish Chef to deal with, and Swedish Chef kind of buckling under that pressure, not getting those line upgrades, and thus like losing that fight pretty significantly. And you can see that difference in between medium and non-upgraded. It's a really huge. You can see more buildings getting thrown up for Fen. At this stage of the game, when you've got max supply villagers, you can see both players probably sitting on max. 20 is around 60 plus. It's maybe 70 villages, it's not max, but it's kind of max probably because he doesn't have all villagers gathering at the moment. Anyways, see Apollo finally getting hit there by TSM Fen, and Apollo going to get hit for Swedish Chef. Swedish Chef might want to actually consider those line upgrades pretty soon, because otherwise Fen will hit the heavy upgrades and maybe hit a really strong timing with those. You can see the fortress now going up for Swedish Chef. Does not want to lose this location. The Hoplite and Hippocon bashing away at that archery range, picking that one off as soon as possible. And we can see Swedish Chef going to lose that fortress that he wanted to build so badly. And there we go, chucking it up again. And now trying to fight this off here. Need to pick off those hoplite because they will tear down that town center. This is a pretty good fight for Swedish Chef to to run into because he's got a town center fire backing himself up, but there's a lot of units here for Fen. And that Manticore there, if he focuses it into the middle of that Toxito ball, then he can use that special attack and really pick off a lot of those units. Fortunately, it's actually attacking the town center instead of the Toxitos. Toxite? Whatever. Fortress going up for TSM Fen here. If he does get this up and starts getting some Petropoli sieging into this location, that's going to be a huge win for him. However, Fortress coming up for Swedish Chef, he will be able to respond, picking off that because there's a nice wall of trees here. And the Fortress going to fall before the town center falls, most probably. Still no line upgrades for the Toxite or the Hoplite of Swedish Chef. And if we jump over and we see the upgrades now, probably I think Fen's a little bit in front in terms of those upgrades. He does have the heroic upgrades, classical upgrades, and the heroic irrigation already, so he's going to have a lot of food income at the moment, though he's only got 19 villages on food. This is probably why Swedish Chef is so... probably, I don't know, he's kind of struggling in terms of fighting. He's got so many villages, but he doesn't yet have all of the economy upgrades, so he doesn't have the same amount of population to deal with and the same amount of spam that Fen's got, and Fen's also got higher quality units at the moment, so that's a good thing. Fen almost getting that dock up, a little bit random there. Nice wall though for him there, cutting off his home base from his other base. And we can see this nice push and pull tug sort of thing, pulling Swedish Chef out of position so he can make an attack over here. Hephaestus now for Swedish Chef. Fen not really all that well, he's pretty close to advancing, but he's going to be a little bit behind Fen, just checking up his market now. Almost there, he's got 100 favor in the bank. And we see the Petropoli coming out now, but Fen being very quick to react to that, going to pick that one off instantly. We can see the Heracles getting picked up instantly there, the Toxite trying to deal as much damage as they can. Swedish Chef trying to hold on for his life at the moment. Doesn't have all too much to deal with. He's just got these Toxito he needs to pick off, and then maybe try and stop these Petropoli from getting in here. He's probably going to lose this town center actually if he doesn't get villagers over here to repair it. He's sending 5 in. Not going to really be enough. He doesn't have masons either. Doesn't have that researching. Hephaestus is 60% of the way done. Petropoli trying to pick this location off at the moment. Why did those Petropoli stop attacking? That's got to be a pretty huge mistake there, and if that town center doesn't go down because of that move, fortunately the town center does go down. However, the fortress does fall, so TSM Fen probably not going to be able to secure this location. Military Academy coming down again. Another temple going up for Swedish Chef. Wants to get those colossi out as soon as possible. Swedish Chef sitting at 130 of 130 population to Fen 107 population. So Swedish Chef definitely can grab this town center back. He is at a point, so long as he keeps on putting the pressure on. A couple of these units need to come in here and start fighting. Swedish Chef with no upgrades at the moment. Does he have more armor upgrades? He's only got the 1 armor. He needs to chuck up 2 more. Get that armory thing. That, what's it called, Forge of Olympus upgrade as soon as he can. Wants to get the Bellerophon out as soon as possible to pick off these Petropoli and then continue his mission of survival. He's got a lot of idle units over here though. Need to hit those idle military buttons because that's what it's kind of it. Fen though hitting Hephaestus himself, sitting at 120 of 160 population at the moment. Going to be able to continue to push in here. Swedish Chef doesn't have anything else at the moment. A weird use of that Hippicon there. Petropoli now coming over here to try and pick off this fortified town center. I'm going to see if Fen can stop him doing that. Who knows? Who knows? We see the villagers now coming in. He does have ceasefire, so he can actually grab this location if he so chooses to with that ceasefire. And that's going to be very difficult for Swedish Chef to come back from if he's sitting at the 4-2 town center deficit. Especially with a ceasefire, which is going to allow it's going to allow Fen to get to 180 supply. See that town center? He's really trying to get that one up. What's he doing? Fen doesn't have the resources because he's continuously building units. See the Colossi now trying to pick up that town center. Need some heroes over there. These villagers finally grabbing that town center, and he's going to cast a ceasefire as soon as he starts building that. It's going to allow him to keep building those units. And what's going to happen here? The armory of Swedish Chef. Has he gotten Forge of Olympus? Who knows? Yes, he has gotten Forge of Olympus. Fen, on the other hand, also gotten forward to the Olympics, but he's already ahead of Swedish Chef. So Fen playing this really nicely actually. Gonna get this town center up. Needs to keep building units though. Don't want to set 145 population. And maybe he should start getting that trade route happening as well as some more villages. I'm not sure if he can build them though. I think he's got some villages he can build. When you get to the 4 town center period, you've got 40 more population than your opponent. And you don't need to have 40 more population than your opponent to win. What you need is to have like 20 more economy than your opponent and 20 more military. That way you can support the extra military as well as all that other good stuff. You can see this Colossi going to get picked off. Burning Pitch researched for Fen. Those really sick burning arrows there are going to try and pick off that Colossus as he walks away. Fen's own Colossus coming in now. Seeing exactly what he can do. The storehouse is getting picked off there by the Patrol. Kind of interesting use of them there. I see the Bellerophon coming out. I think TSM Fen going to be falling behind on economy if he doesn't produce these extra villages that he can. Going to be a little bit interesting there. Swedish Chef going through the Titan Age though as the last resort. Interesting choice there. I don't think that Fen can deal with this. He might actually go for his own Titan though, but he might lose his town center if he does, because he doesn't really have the economy to deal with it. However, Greek, and I mean Zeus is probably the best race to deal with a Titan without actually having a Titan. You can see some of these juggernauts coming out here on the water. There's a tower here as well, and it's going to be difficult for Swedish Chef to actually stop those juggernauts, because building what are these, Pentaconters? Yeah, building those into the watchtower is going to pick them off really quickly unless the watchtower doesn't focus them. You can see it is currently attacking the dock instead of the Pentaconter, so they're actually going to be in a good spot. Both players microing their Bellerophon as best as they can. And we can see this Titan Gate trying to get up, and Swedish Chef actually falling behind a lot in economy, only with the 20 villages on food, 10 villages on wood, and 20 villages on gold. Needing to produce as much as he can, but not being able to. The heavy Hippocon focusing down the heavy hoplite in a weird position here. What's Fen doing? Why is he at such low gold? As I said, he should have started this trade route ages ago. He's starting to build it now. He's moving his villages forward. Titan Gate has been researched for Fen, so he's going to be attempting to counter Swedish Chef's Titan Gate with his own Titan, which isn't a bad idea. It's just that it's going to be 50% behind Swedish Chef, so it's going to be a minute or two behind Swedish Chef. So the Chef needs to get his Titan in and actually pick off this entire location, which he probably can with the time he's got, and then take it back himself and be at the spot to pick off Fen's Titan Gate, and then Fen gonna have to do something with the little HP that he's got left and maybe get back his own town center. So it's going to be a bit of a tug and pull at the moment. And we can see these Petropoli actually really good at picking off the Juggernaut. It's called an Oxy Juggernaut when you advance that. It's pretty interesting to note that there. You can see more Juggernauts now picking off the temple here of Fen. You can actually pick off that town center if he wants to. Pentaconta coming out now for Fen, trying to hold on to this location as best as he can, and the Bellerophon coming in now, trying to pick off these Petropoli. You can see his attack, his jump attack actually pretty much one hits them, and he's going to pick off all those really quickly. There's a bunch of Pentaconta here though, and this kind of water is kind of useless as the Titan almost up at the moment. Fen at 180 population though, so he's at a really good spot to deal with this, and he's going to get his own Titan up. It's actually pretty slowly going to lose this town center. You can see the is he going to get there? Is he going to get there? He's not going to get there. He's too slow. Should have got that underworld happening a little bit earlier. Is he going to try and pick off this? He's going to lose all of these Toxite if he does. He's going to try and raid with them though. This is actually a pretty good delay tactic as well. He's forcing Swedish Chef to try as he's, the pathing of the Titan is so bad. He's forcing Swedish Chef to deal with this instead of attacking his own town center. However, he did lose his town center, so it's not the best position for him at the moment. A lot of these Pentaconta, though, right here, watchtowers going up, they can really destroy boats incredibly quickly. You can see them go into town at the moment. This town center probably gonna stay alive. He doesn't have architects, but he does have the other upgrade, what's it called, masons. So it's in a good position. You can see Bellerophon getting built there, trying to pick off these units as best as he can. Picks off the Colossi, picks off all of these Toxotates, and a very low hit point, but there's not enough units here to pick it off with those hoplite getting killed and all that other good stuff. We can see Swedish Chef trying to build this up, but not going to be able to. He needs to continue building those villages. He's only got one town center though. Going to pick off this underworld passage as soon as he can, and Fen going to be trying to retreat out here. He's got all these towers though, picking off these units. Juggernauts of Fen probably could get upgraded so they could pick off the towers from range. Not going to do that just yet. Fen's Colossi trying to pick off the Fen's Bellerophon trying to pick off the Colossi there. Getting a bit confused with all of this stuff going on. Okay, Swedish Chef, you need to get that Titan doing something, like right now. Or is he just going to wait and then use it for his opponent's Titan to sort of cancel them out because he's gotten the town center down? Who knows? He's also got an underworld himself, so he can use that at some point. There's a lot of population here, not doing a whole lot. Might want to pick off this wall and all that other good stuff. You can see a fortress going up now for Swedish Chef. He's got the Heliopoli out and the Titan for Fen out as well. This is really weird. He's left this Titan here for so long. A little bit of a dry spot here at the moment. These villages been really weird. Really weird. Not doing a whole lot right there. You can see Swedish Chef moving his heroes around here trying to kill off stuff. Bellerophon jumping in and not doing anything. Interesting choice there. Fortress going up now for Swedish Chef. The Titan coming around. Stuck here, not doing a whole lot. And a bunch of these units getting chased out here at the moment. More fortress getting thrown up. What are you doing with the Titan? What are you doing? Move it forward. Come on, man. There's not like there's a lot happening, or is there? Is he just like strapped for cash? Is that dealio? He's got no gold left, and he's got his trade route happening. You can see the trade routes happening for Swedish Chef as well. Both players trying to control this water. Getting this town center up would be really big. The Titan coming in though, probably going to stop this happening. Swedish Chef needs to turn that one around and start hitting the Titan though. You can see him coming in, and they're going to meet each other. The fury in their eyes is real as the Titan bash at each other, both dealing a ridiculous amount of damage. Probably could use that Heliopoli though to help out instead of making this an even fight. This Titan going to die though. You can see a hero's coming out now for Swedish, and he's running him away, so getting some free hits there for the Titan. Need to get these heroes into the fray. We can see the Oxy Juggernauts helping out in themselves as well. You can see the hero, the Heracles, and the Jason doing work. They can actually hit for pretty big. Each attack does around 20 to 40 HP. The Titan does have 94% pierce armor and 89% hack armor, so they have pretty good chance of survival over there. I think we can see the fortress is going up for Swedish Chef that I missed. Going to be able to secure this location as well. The Titan coming in trying to pick off this location. What are you going to do though with your Titan, Swedish Chef? You can deal with this. More and more of these fortresses going up. Bellerophon coming into the fray now. Bellerophon, one of the strongest units, some of the strongest heroes in the game. You can see how much damage he tanks. That's one hit, only does around 50 damage. More heroes coming in onto the Titan at the moment. Fortress trying to get taken down here by Swedish Chef. Still trying to get this town center up. Heliopoli, that's what it is, yes. Trying to pick it off. Doesn't do as much damage as it would if it was up. More of these villagers coming in though are going to attempt to pick these off. The jump attack though, look at all those villagers getting wrecked, getting absolutely destroyed. And still trying to pick off that that fortress right there. Another Heliopoli coming out. This town center so close to getting up if he attacks it. Is he going to attack it? Oh, he's not focusing. He's not focusing, and the town center does get up. So Fen, in a bit of a predicament here, needs to somehow protect this town center. Well, I guess he can. What's his Titan at? His Titan's currently at 3,400 HP to his opponent's Titan at 3,700, and that Titan continuously going down. So Swedish Chef needs to be pretty aware that this Titan needs to stay above the HP of his opponent's Titan. Same with Fen, but he keeps on attacking heroes when he shouldn't be. And Fen probably needs to produce a couple more of those donkey caravans to do stuff with. You can see the champion Hippocon coming in now. And now the big fight happening yet again. Gotta start bashing into each other. Except now they've got all of these heroes to attack the Titan as well. So this Titan gonna come out a little bit ahead. Probably gonna have around 500 HP left. Maybe a little bit more. But it's still gonna be pretty rough times to keep that Titan alive. Might be able to pick up another town center or something. 800 HP. Oh man, I was so close. 700. That guess though. And we can see more of those heroes trying to pick off the Titans. That's why they call them heroes, because they're taking on the task that no one else wants to. Titan gonna fall down, as we see the Heliopoli now picking off the town center of Fen. Swedish Chef in a really good position at the moment. Needs to pick up that town center as soon as possible. The Titan almost getting picked off here. If I was him, I'd probably just run him in and pick up a couple of houses and try and cause some more havoc. You don't want to keep him alive at this amount of HP because he costs 20 population, and that population can be used elsewhere, to be honest. We'll see what he does choose to do though. And there's no way to heal it unless you're Atlantean. The only way to heal your Titan is to have the mythic rejuvenation technology. And really Swedish Chef right now. He should probably just move in fortresses around this location and then get it, because he's got this Titan really causing havoc for Fen. But Fen making this side build over here can pick off the market. That's going to be very, very difficult for Swedish Chef to stop this. He does have Underworld though, I think. Does he still have Underworld? Yeah, he's got Underworld, so he can move over there very, very efficiently to stop that happening, and then he'll probably just retake this location. And he'll be in a good spot. We'll see exactly what happens though. Does Fen have resource population to spare? He doesn't really. He's only at 130 population as these Heliopoli continuously push into his base. We see some town centers going up. Some towers going up for Swedish Chef. Need that town center though. You can see some gold colossi getting built here, trying to pick off this location. Did you see the Heracles trying to pick off the gold colossi? They do deal a ridiculous amount of damage though. You can see that this town center maybe struggling to stay alive as some villagers come over here to try and keep it up. Mason's still the only upgrade that's been researched. Need to get that next upgrade happening. Architects, very, very strong. You can see some of these hoplite coming in now, trying to bash away at his opponent. It's trade route. If he can get over there into that corner and stop that happening, then that causes Swedish Chef some real problems. We can see Swedish Chef trying to pick off the hometown center of Fen when really the priority is this location over here. You can see that the trade route is over this location because all of the donkey caravans with gold in them are heading that way. And you should note that, and you should stop that happening if you can. We do see him try and pick off the town center instead. Some towers going up on the trade route line of Swedish Chef, and maybe just changing this location to here would be better. I don't know. Maybe here to here, or like here to here. Instead of dealing with this, might be a better option. You can see him continuously pushing in here though, attempting to pick off this town center. Sending some colossi in there would be a good idea as well. You don't want to ignore it though. If you do see the market getting built there, is he going to delete this? I'm not sure what he's going to do. Who knows? Who knows? See the gold colossi coming in here. Needs to deal some damage. He's getting blocked a little bit. He's going to be able to get onto that town center and pick that off. It's getting very, very low on HP. There we go. We do see the town center falling. So Swedish Chef in a commanding position. 3 town centers to 1. Still trying to build this one up. Another Silver Colossi trying to pick off this middle location to stop any Petropoli, stopping this town center from going up. Swedish Chef running out of gold though because he doesn't have any of those donkey caravans dumping their resources into the market. As we can see, they're switching the position to here now, which is going to be good. See the Heliopoli coming in here as well to pick off this location. And all that other good junk and stuff that happens. Swedish Chef trying to gather as much wood as he can. Might want to send some of those villages to a different location. Maybe here would be good. Or here, or here. Like, just don't want to have that many villages on one patch of trees. It's very inefficient. In any case, Bellerophon bashing away at the top today. Gonna have to sort of retreat here until you can get some more dudes. See some towers going up around this location. Don't want to lose that town center too much. Really want to keep that one alive if you want to stay in the game. You can see the Oxy Juggernauts now still picking off this location here, trying to stop this town center from getting up. See another town center going up for Swedish Chef, picking off these docks though. Need to repair that as best as you can. Is he gonna build some Pentaconta? All you need to do is build like a couple. No? Pentaconta? Is he gonna send the Heliopoli over? I just build like 1 or 2 Pentaconta. That'd be fine. You do see a temple up in the back corner of Swedish Chef's base, Colossi and all that other good junk. And we can see some of these docks going to position themselves in the middle of the trade route of Fen. If you can move some villages in here and just build a couple of towers, that'd be really good as well. It's kind of like the late game goal is to just cut trade routes. We see some of these Oxy Juggernauts coming out here as well as the Triremes. Town center actually falling there for Swedish Chef, not being able to keep that one alive as the Juggernaut's getting picked off here ever so slowly. And there we go, towers going up into the corner of Swedish Chef. Sorry, into the corner of Fen. I'm so bad at this. Get confused if they're playing the same race. See the town center getting back up as fast as possible. The thing is with Oxy Juggernauts is they do a fair amount of damage. I don't think they did that much damage to a building unit, like a thing. But maybe that's the burning pitch that does that. If you don't have burning pitch, they don't do a lot of damage to the buildings getting constructed, but they still do a heap of damage to a built building, if that makes any sense at all. You can see a lot of these idle donkey caravans here though for Swedish Chef. That's not a good thing. We need to get those happening again. Maybe just build a market up over here just to get them moving and keep them happening, because you need to keep that gold income happening. See gold colossi now coming in here trying to pick off all of these guard towers and all that other good stuff. Watchtowers though, in here we can see the marker going up in the other corner of the map for Fen, realizing this location isn't going to be all too easy to defend. And Swedish Chef just trying to get that map control back. He needs to pick off these Oxy Juggernauts, and then after that he should be right. He's going to build up some more watchtowers, guard towers, sorry, and trying to do all that other good stuff. As soon as he grabs map controls, Fen's going to be in a real difficult position. This location is still built though, so he can continuously build these gold colossi and send them in. We do see the fortified town center of the base of Swedish Chef going down now. The heroes need to move around and start dealing with those. Is there any Bellerophon out? No, you could build the Bellerophon, but you don't have any gold, do you, Swedish Chef? Unfortunately for him, he's rebuilt his market and he's got that trade route happening yet again. Does he? Where's all these trade routes? Oh, there they are. That's kind of a really bad thing to happen, is your donkey caravans to be all bunched up like this, because you're not going to get there. It's not bad, it's just like, what's the word? Well, you get all your resources dumped in at once. So you get 1,000 gold or whatever in the bank, and then you're like, oh, I have to ration this until my guys come back. See some more Hippocon coming out now for Fen. Fen also building some Myrmidon to deal with these heavy Toxite, and we can see the Silver Colossi and Heliopoli coming into the hometown center again. Trying to pick off these gold colossi as best he can. Rebuilding this town center, good idea. Needs to continuously push in. If we can keep picking off the town centers though, and keeping these at an even to positive sort of distribution, then that'd be good for Swedish Chef. Fen though, doing really good in terms of his like map pressure and late game playing and all that other nonsense. Some hoplite here as well. This town center not going to go up. Fortress falling there for Swedish Chef. Fen doing really well. However, his own town center is getting picked off there, and looks like Swedish Chef trying to put the nail in the coffin here, continuously pushing in. chuck over some guard towers in this location, stop this trade route from happening completely, which is what you want to be aiming to do. If you want to win, gold is the victory condition. A lot of those donkey caravans with no resources for some reason. Anyways, Heliopoli and Gold Colossi coming in here, picking off this location as well as Fenn's Gold Colossi, doing work in the base of Swedish Chef. Swedish Chef actually losing his Plenty Vault for a time here. Needs to get that one back as soon as possible. Does get that back. That's worth like 20 villages or so, 15 villages. And Swedish Chef also picking off the top location here, as we can see some Heliopoli and Gold Colossi coming over here trying to pick off these watchtowers, as those donkey caravans currently getting picked off. You can see the answer coming in here, trying to pick off more and more of these units. I think just moving through this location, bashing down that gate, picking off that market would be pretty good as well. Ben though, doing real work, attacking everywhere, trying to mold his way back into this game. If we jump over to Fenn's perspective, he doesn't have many resources either, so he's playing with the same amount of resources as Swedish Chef, so doing really well in that regard. Now instead of trying to go up again, picking off this temple because that's the production line of these colossi, as well as over here. We can see the town center almost getting back up, and the hoplite not able to stop it because they're a bit too slow, are they? Town center does manage to go back up, and town center going down for Swedish Chef. There's a little bit too much action at the moment. Town center not actually falling though, it's just getting to low hit points. All those villagers repairing it. See this Gold Colossi trying to pick off some villages and all that other good stuff. Again, Gold Colossi, this is what happens with the what you call it, the Juggernauts. When they attack in a building which isn't like maybe 300, how much crush damage? 50. I'm not sure what happens. Don't mind me. I could be very, very wrong. Another dock coming up the Fed. This is so obnoxious. He wants to keep these juggernauts coming out, trying to stop these town centers from coming in. Unfortunately, TSM Fenn's army getting strangled there, and a lot of damage taken for that Swedish Chef without dealing all too much. These Heliopoli continuously pushing in here. You can probably get this marker back up in this corner now that the towers have stopped, and that would be pretty good right there. What else is happening? A little bit of a dry spot here, and like some walls coming up here, more Gold Colossi coming in. This Barrel of Fun needs to stay here to pick this off. Doesn't know it's coming though. Swedish Chef needs to rebuild this town center, keep his economy going, keep his production going, keep his map control, and basically try and win the game there. Jump back over to Swedish Chef's perspective. He just needs to, I don't know, he just needs to kind of do stuff. Like with that Bellerophon, he needs to stop this happening. Stop the Heliopoli happening, maybe get some villages to attack that. Continuously build villages, sitting at 20 villages, maybe a little more with the Isles at the moment. Market going down for Swedish Chef, going to hit that gold deficit again. Not good at all. Ven actually looks like he's in a commanding position at the moment. He could probably win this game. Even though Swedish Chef's got the town centers at the moment. He's doing really well. He's doing amazing work. Picking off that market is... Actually, no, he's already rebuilt the market. But basically picking off that market meant that he could push in and actually take this location back. Ben continuously pushing in here, taking down these towers, taking down this location in the middle of the map here. Guard towers going down now for Swedish Chef. Fen taking down the main base of Swedish Chef, and Swedish Chef sitting at only 140. She's got 140 population, so it's not like he's falling behind. He's also picked off the market though for Fen, so Fen going to be hitting the no gold cap, except he's at 2k gold at the moment, so he's going to have to use that gold sparingly until he gets his trade happening again. And Swedish Chef holding on for dear life at the moment, trying to survive from this push. Gold Colossi and Heliopoli in the base of Swedish Chef. But what's going on? He's managed to secure the Plenty Vault for a second or two there. We really need to get those donkey caravans back to work. He's got the market up. He's going to click on this, and then they're going to go back to work. That's all he needs to do. Let's see if he does try to get that happening. Town center trying to go up yet again for Swedish Chef. He needs to keep building their villages. He is still building, well, Fen's still building villages, and same with Swedish Chef, so that's good. Town center trying to go back up yet again. These units need to do stuff. Don't want them to be idle. He's got a lot of idle villages over here as well, and the Heliopoli trying to pick off the archery range and all that other good stuff. You can see the Bellerophon would be really good at like full HP, so losing that and rebuilding it would be pretty good. See how much damage you can actually do with those though. The Gold Colossi now coming over the back location at the moment. Gonna try and kill that off as best as it can. Bellerophon, little jab there, does 80 damage. Pretty crazy stuff there, but Colossi has like 1500. It's basically like a mini Titan. Heliopoli getting picked off there. A Underworld passage coming in now. He's going to attempt to pick this location off. If he can actually do that, that'll be really good. But that's an interesting choice to do that. He's got the Heliopoli probably queued to this location. There's so many population. There's so much population worth over here of Gold Colossi, and they're moving down, trying to pick off the back location here. Going to be throwing up some towers and all that other good stuff. The Gold Colossi doing work, trying to do stuff, I suppose. Picking off the Heliopoli there, trying to pick off this location as best as he can. He's got the Pentaconta trying to pick off the Triremes, trying to pick off the Pentaconta, and the Oxy Juggernaut's kind of doing nothing. But that's that. One Gold Colossi with this attack's been a little bit odd. Probably could have done a little bit more with this. Maybe once he gets a town center up, he might be able to produce some more stuff. Those back town center is slowly but surely going down. Actually not going to go down because that 4 HP Bellerophon, all he has to do is attack the Bellerophon once, and then that would have been a really strong attack. Man, we should be aware of the HP of units. See another one of those Gold Colossi going to come in here. It's going to move in, try and pick off this location. The market gone down for Fen. Fen running on a low gold, and 400 gold with no income at the moment at all. This location going down, the last ditch effort of this Gold Colossi trying to pick off. We have some Toxidae here. We've got this 4 HP Bellerophon. A little bit interesting there. The town center going down, actually going down, as opposed to Swedish Chef's back town center. This game coming to an end. Fen with no gold, no trade route, 1 town center. It'd be very difficult to see him coming back from this at the moment. Swedish Chef has the resources to build that town center up. He's going to be attempting to do so. There's some hoplite kind of pick this off, and wow, TSM Fen taps out, says GG. That was a mammoth of a game, 48 minutes and 18 seconds long. Swedish Chef though playing really well. He did have the town center advantage on the map, I do grant him that. Fen really surprised me though. He played it impeccably well from a 2 to 4 town center deficit, keeping Swedish Chef on basically 3 town centers max for the primary amount of that game. Not being able to contain his own market while putting on the pressure though, so his trade route had to kind of get stopped there. Markets going down and all that other good junk. I don't know. This game was just really high quality in terms of the play. So really well played for Swedish Chef. He has a win in the PK Clan tournament. Going to be casting a fair few more of these games. If you like this video, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.